I love how every time I vlog, I'm just like, let me show them the real me. That's the point, right? So, welcome to my London and Paris vlog. I'm currently getting ready to get out the house, and I was like, I need to make this intro for my vlog, so let's get into it.
What is she thinking about? It was actually crazy.
So my best friends and I have been planning this trip for mad long, saying we're gonna do it. First it was supposed to be like around our birthday time, but hey, as long as it got done. So, ooh, is this finished? Oh, there's still something in there, baby. So, first stop on the trip was the UK. We went to London. It was my first time. It was me and Darius's first time. Dare had been there before already. I know, guys, don't even judge the way I'm about to get ready. I don't want to hear it from anybody, okay? So yeah, things I learned before I get into the clips. The US uses so much power. We blew an outlet like within the first 24 hours, blew a fuse trying to use a steamer. And then we realized and we had the right thing, like the right connector. It was just like, yo, these items we bought are using too much power. We ended up having to buy a new flat iron, a new steamer, just so we could use them in the UK. But okay, I wish I got a lot more filming done in London. I didn't get as much film. I guess I was having too much fun. The thing I loved about London was like the vibes were great. It was a lot of Caribbean presence and African presence. What I will say is that the food was trash. I know the Londoners are gonna come for me on that one, and I'm sorry. Everybody's like, you didn't go to that place. I'm like, if I have to search too hard, that means overall the food is not good in your spot. But it's okay. It's like a cleaner New York, so y'all have that. Y'all got that. Yeah. So get into the London and Paris tea. Here is the vlog. So, I don't know if you guys know, my travel tips are like, I have a few. Always have cash on you, so euros or pounds, whatever, so we always have to have. Man, what are my travel tips? Well, I think most importantly for this trip also was like, I'm so glad we took the train instead of flying, and I'm glad we saved money by taking public transportation. I personally am a heavy advocate for public transportation. Like, I don't care how popular I am or whatever, public transportation is clutch, it's necessary, and people need to stop like trying to shit on it, okay? Yeah, I know it can be dirty sometimes, but like it's so easy to get around and avoid traffic with public transportation usually. And I'm talking specifically about the train. I love trains. Best form of transportation to me there is, you know? But yeah, so definitely took like the railway in all these cities. Am I breaking into hives? Are you kidding me? Everything is making my skin break out lately. This is crazy. my skin break out lately. This is crazy.
Hey, how are you guys enjoying the exhibit?
It's beautiful. I cry a lot. I'm embarrassed to cry again.
Aww.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, sister. Hello, Days. How do you feel? Inspired?
Yeah. The most beautiful landscape I've ever seen.
Wow. The way the champagne is hitting me is hilarious. Hey, guys.
How is it? Good?
Max was screaming for you.
I remember that because I remember you screaming for somebody named Max, and I was like, oh, I guess he's not coming. And then you were there.
Yeah, you were literally screaming your name. I don't know where you were.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then allegedly you said, I already called the Uber after you told me the times didn't match up. You didn't want to go. No, it
You should
didn't.
get escargots advertised. There's 6 of them.
Yes.
You should get escargots.
Yes.
6.
That was super annoying. Really blew me. This is like crazy. My face is like literally breaking on its highs right now. I can't believe this shit. Okay, well, highlight of my Paris trip was this moment right here. So, I was very close to my late grandmother. We had the same birthday. I'm sure everybody, if you've like been following me for a long time, you know this. I love my grandmother. Talk about her a lot. And grief is so interesting to me because, you know, she's like the first person I've ever really like lost that I was like super close to. And it's like you think you're over it, but at any time grief can kind of just like jump at you, you know what I mean? And there's no, it's like I can't remember, like I've heard so many good quotes about grief. There's so many good ones, and of course none of them are coming to mind, but anyway, so I had this really emotional moment. You guys might see me talk about it on Twitter and Instagram, where I was staring at this painting at the Monet Museum and I just broke down into tears and I could not stop crying. And it's funny because I had walked ahead of my friends in the museum because, like, you know, they're artists, they take a little longer than I do, and I just sat in front of this painting and I started looking, and it just reminded me of my grandmother. She used to keep Monet-like paintings around in her room, and yeah, I just broke down into tears, started crying. The security guard sees me crying. He's like, you need to get a picture in front of this painting. And I'm like, no. I look a little disheveled. As you can see, like my clothes are kind of bunched up. The wig was a little He's like, no, you need a picture in front of this. And he really flicked me up. Like, if I wasn't looking crazy and just finished crying, this could have been like a flick. He knew my angles off the bat. And he's probably the nicest person I met in Paris. So, and I can't remember his name, but shout out to you. Shout out to the people who work at the Musée Marmottan Monet. Yeah, that was like the highlight of my Paris trip. Paris is a beautiful city. The people suck. People were so rude, and, you know, a few mildly racist encounters, but just overall rude and aggressive and angry because I was American, I guess. I don't know. And I was flexing my French, but they wasn't feeling it, and it's okay. It's okay. That's my thoughts on Paris. If you guys want to know like the full details on how we paid $0 for our stay in the entire trip of the UK and Europe, subscribe to me on Tip Snaps, because it's like very like sacred to me, this method we used, and I do not want to share it with everybody. I'm sorry. So yeah, subscribe to my Tip Snaps and I'll give you the tea. I'll even answer all your questions about like specifics, and I'll even give you the specific places we stayed, okay? Because these places were lit. All right. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Part 2 is coming for south of France and Barcelona, whatever how you say it. But so I'm really looking forward to part 2. You guys see part 2. Barcelona was my favorite leg of the trip, low key, but at the same time, every place we had a great time, and I was just so blessed to be able to do this with my best friends, people who really love and care about me, and we just had such a great time. We had little mini interventions with each other. We really talked to each other and connected deeper. And it's like, you think, I sometimes it's funny because like these is my N words, you feel me? And like I feel like sometimes like, wow, how can we get any closer? And then we get closer. And it's like, you know, if I don't find the romantic relationship I'm looking for, I know that I am so happy to have like the friendships and the family relationships that I have, because they show me what true love really is. And yeah, so that is the beauty of it, you know, of life. You experience some grief, but you also got these happy, beautiful moments with people who like really love you and care about you, and you know, you gotta like give love to receive it. And yeah, life is beautiful, and this trip definitely reminded me of it. But tap in for part 2. Like, comment, subscribe, tell me how you feel, what was your favorite look, all that. Love you guys. Mwah.